Oh, oh man. So before hopping on here today, I finally got to watch the 25th anniversary of South Park concert.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, like first of all, to imagine 25 fucking years of South Park and they're still going
Yeah.
strong. Um, but to just tune into that, not only is Primus there, not only is
hmm
Ween there, fucking
hmm
Rush is there, and
Yep.
we get to hear all like the iconic South Park songs.
Yeah.
What favorite South Park songs? Right quick. What are your guys' favorites? If you had
Kyle's
to
mom
pick
was a
one,
big that bitch.
Kyle's mom. That's a good one.
Um, I get boogers and cum stuck in my head a lot,
I fucking knew it.
and maybe it's also that I worked in food service for 20 years. But yeah, I mean, not that no one I know has ever fucked with people's food. That's a movie thing, but that song is fucking hilarious because I love that whole episode with the you're not yelping. You're not a goddamn food critic, Clarence. You're a fucking mechanic.
Yeah.
All
um.
you yelpers can get the fuck out.
I
Who actually looks at Yelp anyways?
fucking no one these days anymore. At
I mean,
least
I may take a glance if I'm out of town just to see like what are popular spots, but I don't actually read reviews.
no.
I I usually just use Google reviews for that, honestly,
Uh,
rather than Yelp.
favorite song, I'd probably have to say, what would Brian Boitano do? It's such a
That
good
is a
it's such a good fucking jam.
that's a close second.
Mine, a close second.
No, that's my
Oh,
close
that was
second.
your close second. Okay. Did you have a close second, Chance?
Um, I mean, I know that it was originally used in Team America, but Montage.
Oh yeah. I think anything that Matt
Yeah, 'cause, I mean,
Matt
they
and
played
Trey.
stuff from Team America. They played stuff from Cannibal the Musical, and so yeah, I think that it's all fairly fair game.
Do they get real big fish to play beer?
No,
No, sadly not. Real
nothing,
Big Fish
nothing from
wasn't there.
basketball. Yeah, nothing
No.
from basketball. But they didn't write basketball. They just started it.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
if you
Um
call me bitch 14 or 15 more times, I'm out of here.
You know what? I'll throw in a second one real quick here. I'd probably say it's easy okay.
Hmm.
Yeah,
it's good.
Mr. Mackey.
I don't know if it counts as a song, but the stupid little fucking Tegrity Farms song that Randy sings at the end of certain episodes during the Tegrity seasons, where it's like Tegrity Farm, Tegrity Farm, Tegrity Farm. Like it's just so fucking stupid. It's so stupid.
Oh,
Are they airing the new episodes anywhere, like streaming them?
Paramount
Um,
Plus.
yeah, Paramount
Fuck.
Plus just had the Streaming Wars parts 1 and 2, plus the COVID specials.
I
I
don't want to get fuck that shit. Paramount
Dude,
Plus.
Paramount Plus is fucking awesome. It's got Star Trek, it's got Beavis and Butthead, it's got
oh,
All
fucking
right,
South Park.
I
all right.
might
Beavis and Butthead, South Park. What
I'm
else?
I might try maybe a month trial of Paramount Plus for South Park, but the fact you just said Beefs and Butthead, you got me more interested in that
Oh
now.
yeah. I mean, the movie, the most recent movie, and brand new episodes of Beavis and Butthead.
Right, because
They
Mike
did make
Judge brought it back for a bit.
Yeah, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, it's great.
they did make the Halo series, and that is a pile of hot trash.
I mean, yeah, so every network's got hot trash.
Any network you
But they
throw
also
at.
made Strange New Worlds,
Strange New Worlds.
the Star Trek.
Oh, okay, fair
Um,
enough.
Mhm.
for some reason, I immediately jumped to the MMO that Amazon made called New Worlds or New World or whatever, and I haven't heard anything about it for its release.
That's my response to that.
That's basically all I've heard from it ever since they released it.
Oh, had a
They're
grape
like,
soda earlier.
this game is fucking hot, and then everyone was playing it, and then everybody stopped, and then they're like, all right, so no updates then on that.
I guess not.
Apparently not. Not so fucking ever.
Have you guys
Speaking of
played the Stray? Where you play as the stray cat?
I've seen
no,
it. I haven't played it myself though. I
It's
just
pretty
finished.
good. It's a nice little puzzle platformer.
Didn't you say it was a cat former?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, you did too. I did just finish playing the new Saints Row.
I have not heard good things about that.
That's the thing though, like oh, I almost feel like I
I've,
might have to throw the rant screen on me for this one. I don't fucking know. But
I've heard.
I'm so tired of people just jumping on the hate bandwagon without even fucking trying it themselves. Like I feel like that's such a thing lately.
I've,
Where
I've seen some of the writing that was done, like the characters,
mm,
and I saw some dialogue, and it just seems awful easy.
the thing is though, like, is it a great game? Not really. Like I love the Saints Row franchise, and for me, I would still consider this a Saints Row game. Sure, it doesn't have any of the iconic characters that were all in the previous one, but the map and the landscape and this whole new environment is incredible. The writing is still hilarious. There is no like over exaggerated weapons like in 3 or 4. Um, there's tons of customization, whether it be your weapons, your cars, your avatar. So there's still all of that. Um, the story mode I feel like could have been longer. I spent about 9.5 hours on the story mode. There's still side missions you can go to. The activities are really fun. They got one new activity that I'm not a fan of, where it's like you go find like abandoned trucks full of toxic waste, and you're on a timer to like drive them to the depot. But if you hit a bump or anything, one of the canisters will open up and start spewing toxic waste everywhere. So then you got to really haul ass to get it before you lose all of it to gain money.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah, it's not that great. Like they got my favorite that they brought back was insurance fraud, where that one's priceless still. But they have a new activity in there that is LARPing, where like you go get the cardboard, the duct tape, and like you're going against other factions who have like these massive like mansion-sized cardboard castles and that, and you get your weapons swapped out with like Nerf guns and whatnot. It's pretty funny.
Is it kind of like the music video for Red Fang?
Oh, very damn close. But yeah, I just some people just gotta like look into it more before just simply jumping on the hate wagon.
But I mean, does it have Keith David and Rowdy Roddy Piper?
Like I said, it doesn't have any of the originals. It's a brand new.
So it is inferior.
I thought Roddy Piper passed away.
He did, yeah.
Oh,
But he was also in Saints Row 3.
So
speaking of things that have passed away, this is the BPGN podcast. I am Papa Gnome with my host, Big Red.
What's up, people?
And my other host, Chance.
What's going on, everybody?
Happy 1 year for BPGN, everyone. 1 year of pure fucking insanity from us three
Look
yahoos.
at that. 1 year has passed.
That's wild.
Fuck. 1 year and 26 episodes later.
That's
What do we have to show for it?
Friendship.
A lot of awful clips on TikTok.
a lot of footage of us laughing.
A lot of footage of us laughing. Sometimes mainly at Gnome's expense when I look back at it. Like, while editing clips recently for TikTok, I noticed like you and I for about 4 to 5 episodes, not straight, 5, we've ripped on him for his hair. And the one that fucking kills me to this day, and I'll throw it up on here, is when Jedi Chick Lex very quietly and nervously just sat there and said, I think it looks fine.
No, but it's not suffering. Just accept your fate.
I am. Slow.
Embrace it, man. Embrace it. Keep the beard.
Honestly, I do like the beard.
I'm more accepting of it than my dad is. Still to this day, that bald motherfucker still wears hats all the time, and he's like, "I'm not leaving without my fucking hat," and I'm like, crazy, because I'm like 2 showers away from being bald like you, and I accept it. I don't wear hats.
He says not accepting it at all.
There's a difference between growing it out and enjoying what little time I have left with it, and accepting that I'm going bald.
I think you look fine. Is that good? Was that good kissing ass?
That
Get a
was
little bit more. No, just
That was good. That was good.
and me and Chance died after that.
I love when you took off your hat and we all berated you. 'cause you had-
Everyone, like the thing is, when I didn't hear it because my headphones are off, but I went to edit it, I heard everybody, oh boo, fuck you, and I'm just sitting there like a jackass smiling. Wait, what was that?
Nothing.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, good fucking times indeed.
Fucking dickhead.
I was I remember once I was watching Wojo Crow's stream,
Oh yeah,
and he took his headphones or like got up and left the computer, and so it's just chair stream, and
Yeah.
I'm in chat just talking shit, just it's the fuck Joe, this is the best, and then I was also on we were playing something together, and I was like, this is my stream now, blah blah blah. And he's like, they're wireless headphones, Chance. And I was
no.
like, oops.
Yeah.
There's a podcast I listen to
Yeah.
called PKA, and one of their hosts or one of their guests that got up and left,
Right.
and Kyle, which is also FPS Russia, started talking shit about him. Like, oh, he's kind of weird, isn't he? And the guy came back, he's like, I have wireless headphones.
Oh. Just sounds so defeated. Just, hey, so I can hear you from across the room.
Yeah, Joe was very much just like, they're wireless headphones, Chance.
I can hear every fucking thing.
Well, then hear this. You're a weenie.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
what
I'm
about
glad you heard.
what
Tell
about
Cersei.
What are you gonna do? Nothing, because you can't talk.
what about the time where, like, Chance, you and I, it was about like maybe about a month or no, a few weeks after we did the episode with Joe, who was actually our first guest for the year. We ended up fucking scaring the shit out of him on when we were all playing Phasmophobia.
Oh yeah.
That video is still up on YouTube, by the way.
Nice.
And I was already long dead. I think, yeah, both me and you were both dead.
Yeah.
And he's terrified at this point. The ghost is chasing him. He doesn't know what to do, and he's playing in VR. We're just playing mouse and keyboard. And all you hear is Chance go, "I'm gonna hit him with a crow cough." Yeah, just you hear, "Wah! Oh fuck!" It sounds like he just shit his pants right there out of fear. I'm just like, what great friends we are. Our friends like terrified in fear, and we're just standing there pointing at him. Like, we're playing it this way. Could you imagine like how full his pants is right now playing in VR?
I'm gonna get him with the crow cough.
Oh, get him!
I think it was in here.
Oh, get him!
Woo!
Poor guy.
Oh, fuck. Blow out the candle.
Poor guy.
I see her. Yeah.
Going right after into the room.
Dude.
Oh, and she
stop
harmonizes
Stop.
too.
Go away. Go away. Fuck off. Please.
I had forgotten about that, but yeah, I love hitting him with
Like,
the crow cock.
you and I-
It scares the shit out of him every time.
You and I were literally Kyle and Stan, and he was Cartman at that point. Oh, fuck. But all right.
You're a badass.
Well, all
There's a
right.
YouTuber that like does like that plays games and shit, obviously.
Yeah.
And he was playing some fucking super scary game, and like he let his audience like pay money to play sound clips.
Yeah.
and he's like in this bathroom, and someone paid money to do the sound of a fart, and he screams like a little girl because it caught him off guard. I can't think of his name though.
Ah,
Bart.
Bart fart.
Oh, it's gonna bother me.
Bart Barbara.
He's known for his Wii Sports gaming.
That's a nice esoteric joke that Red gets because he had to edit my episode of PlayChancePlay.
I did. That took a second to click in. I'm like, wait a minute, I heard this before.
Paul Bear's club joke.
Fucking nerds.
Hey, fuck you.
You got to Hey, we're at here. You're at here. You got to get up to us for sure. But all right, guys, another episode, new topics. I'll fire it off here. So, quite recently, I just been on a binge of just movies or shows that involve robots. Don't know why. I just been on that kick for a bit.
Robots.
And my question to you guys is your top 5 robots, cyborgs, or androids, whether in any media. It could be a book, movie, video game, TV show. I will fire this off with my number 5. I know not a lot of people enjoy the film. It still holds a special place in my heart. I'm going to go with Sunny from iRobot.
That was a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
it was not, but it's okay. It's watchable.
I liked it a lot.
I
haven't seen it in years. I wonder if it still holds up.
Not really with the effects. I will say that now. But the story, especially with Sunny, how like he was he was part of this new wave of robots and had a bit of a memory loss after he was instructed to kill his creator. And basically it was a great thriller mystery where Will Smith and Sunny are working side by side, even though Will Smith hates robots and everything about him. So yeah, number 5, Sunny from iRobot. What you got, Chance?
I was gonna say, do you know what book that's based off of?
I didn't even know it was based off of a book.
It is loosely adapted from Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick.
That makes sense.
Also, Isaac Asimov involved. I might actually be getting those switched up.
I'll look at that.
But yeah, it's one of. I feel like they took inspiration from both, but Isaac Asimov also had like the 7 Laws of Robotics and stuff like that. And then but Philip K. Dick, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is Blade Runner. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah, because like with just from that title alone, I'm like, okay, well, Sunny is now able to have dreams.
Right.
At one point, and that's where like he does that sketch on the table where it's one person with like a leader in front of 1,000 next to that broken Brooklyn Bridge.
I don't think it's a Brooklyn Bridge because it takes place in Chicago, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was Chicago. Good moments, though.
Fun fact. Do you know what kind of robot he was?
MS5, was it?
Nestor Class 5.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck. Damn, man. So, Chance, what's your number 5?
So I'm finishing out my list right now. Because I don't know. That's interesting to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also trying to pick ones that I don't think that are going to be picked. You know what I mean?
I know at least one on my list. Either one of you guys will already have, but the other 4, they vary. But yeah, so what you got? Number 5.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Zora, which is the computer on Star Trek Discovery.
Okay.
So over the course of Discovery, which is pre-original series timeline-wise, their computer ends up merging with this sentient AI called Control. And even after they purge all the evil out, then they jump to the future. They're using the spore drive that's never been used before. All of it essentially turns Zora into a brand new life form. So it's not just the ship's computer; it is a being in and of itself, and it actually has rank and designation in Starfleet.
Okay.
Like it's a commander or something like that. So I don't know. I like there's a really great episode where they're debating the ethics of having the computer that controls the ship have a mind of its own and not obey orders.
Right.
Because it's like, well, what if? Because the whole thing started because they wanted to go to this point, but Zora thinks it's too dangerous, so Zora won't set the coordinates. And they're like, but you have to. You're the ship's computer. We're telling you to do that. And Zora's like, no, I will not risk you all. And it's like, okay, so we need to have a conversation.
I mean, that could be a good thing, but also a bad thing as well.
Yeah, well,
look
that's
at
and that's kind of the moral question there as they're going through it, and then that's when they kind of make the decision that let's actually enlist you in Starfleet and make you a part of the crew. You're not just the computer; you're one of us. Because Star Trek is good and hopeful again. I highly recommend Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Okay, so no,
Howdy,
you're number
please.
5.
Goddard from Jimmy Neutron, his dog.
Oh yeah, I remember Goddard.
Goddard.
Goddard. Yeah. Oh yeah, Goddard. Okay.
You goofy bastard. Yeah, it's a dog that can turn into a helicopter. What more could you want?
He had had a built-in computer as well. He could do a lot.
Yeah, computer.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Good pick for Goddard. All right, number 4. I'm gonna go with Ironhide from the Transformers. Yeah, alien race, but they're robotic to me. Robots in disguise is the phrase.
Yeah, no, I mean that I think that counts.
Whether it be the show or the movies, I will say I love the realistic look of him in the movies. As much as people aren't fans of Michael Bay's Transformers films, I very much loved it. Especially with him using Clint Eastwood lines to show off his cannons. You feeling lucky, punk? Easy, Ironhide. What? Just show him my cannons. I fucking love him. Little known fact, my truck I'm currently selling, when I first got it, I nicknamed it Ironhide.
Nice.
I never put an Autobots badge on it, but yeah, I nicknamed it Ironhide for a long time. All right, so what you got? Number 4 there, Chance.
Hedonism Bot from Futurama.
Oh yes, that was yours.
I love Hedonism Bot. It is such a stupid bit, and every single time it comes up, it gets me. Like, there's no purpose for it to exist, which is why it's even funnier. Like, what's the purpose of building Hedonism Bot in the first place? They serve no function to society.
Eating is great.
Yeah.
Bender's looking for his antenna, and he finds it in the oil after an orgy. He's like, I need that sanitized. Just belches heat onto it just to sanitize it.
Yeah.
I mean, it works.
It does, yeah. Fuck, I didn't even think about Hedonism Bot. There's a lot of cool robots on that show. I think, if I had to throw in, an honorable mention, it'd probably be Roberto.
I love Roberto.
I'm gonna stab you.
Now look out!
The sock before.
When he's in prison with Fry, he's like, "Now look out, blood! I gotta practice my stabbing." Just scaring the shit out of him.
Also, the clamps.
Oh, Francis.
The clamps.
Yeah, the clamps.
Oh man, good shit.
The robot.
So number 4 for you there, Gnome.
Probably one of the older robots from Futurama.
Older robots.
When Bender got lost on that island, they're made out of wood.
Oh, the wooden robots.
Yeah. They will learn our peaceful ways. Brute force.
Yeah. That is
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's a
Oh.
great episode.
Oh yeah. I think like the one robot that works on like through her water windmill, her water wheel, just starts running. Oh God, I'm not gonna make it. Runs back to the water that's like 5 steps away. Okay, I'm
Oh,
fine.
oh god! Oh god! Oh god!
Yeah. Alrighty.
What's your third?
So being on the topic of Futurama, Bender. Bender will always be my favorite robot. I would never fucking trust him with my wallet or my life. But if I wound up in a bar and I saw a partying fucking robot like him, I'm like, yeah, I'll have a drink with you. Shit. How about you there, Chance? Number 3.
The Iron Giant.
Ooh, good
Damn.
one.
That was gonna be one I was gonna pick. Another one.
I didn't think he would be on all your guys' list because he's my number 1.
Yeah, I love the Iron Giant. I love that movie.
Oh,
It's so wholesome and heartwarming. And it ends on a hopeful note as well.
They were gonna make a second one, but the first one bombed.
First one did bomb.
that sucks too because like
It only gained its cult following after multiple repeat viewings on Cartoon Network because it was so cheap to air.
the hell.
Yeah.
For me, like that was actually one of the robotic movies I was actually watching recently, and the ending where the Iron Giant is sacrificing himself to the nuke, where he just closes his eyes and just says like "souls don't die," that still fucking rattled me up a bit.
He says
That movie-
Superman.
What?
Because I am Superman as he goes towards it,
Yeah.
and then at one point he also goes, "Souls never die."
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, with Superman.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he modeled he
Yeah, he's got the
the big
on the
S and
chest.
everything.
Yeah.
Like even to think back where he's got Hogarth in the convertible and he like holds
Mhm.
him up and like turns himself into his own amusement ride. That kid's brain would be fucking mush for how fast that fucker's
Yeah.
spinning. Like damn.
He would have no oxygen in them lungs. for
No,
all the G's
he'd
behind
be
that.
out. I'm just like, it's kind of cool. Like
He'd
it's
have no back.
it I don't know. It makes me think of Butters with Osimo.
Yeah.
But this one's actually a
I am
robot.
Osmo.
Me and my robot friend. Okay. What about your number 3? Their gnome.
The robot from Infinite Warfare that that helps you along the way. If you've played it.
It's been a while since I played Infinite Warfare. That's Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I remember that one too much.
Because like at one point, like you get kicked out in space, and he cuddles you, and that's what they use to find you.
Oh.
When like you get like frozen and shit,
Okay.
and like run out of oxygen.
I just remember like I played the story mode once, wasn't too happy with it, and then I just played nothing but zombies after that because it was kind of cool to play zombies in like different decades, like the 80s in Spaceland or the 70s or 90s. That 90s was pretty cool.
I would have preferred it if they gave it a different title instead of Call of Duty. I felt like it would have done a little bit better.
Yeah, I probably would have. Okay, so we're going to number 2 here. I'm gonna go with the Sentinels from X-Men.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, to me, like the X-Men practically use them as target practice. Let's be honest, when teaming up against them, but it's kind of fucking scary if you weren't one of the X-Men, but you're still a mutant and you see this like Goliath of a robot walk up and just try to capture you. Like,
Yeah.
that's just scary shit alone. So yeah, number 2, Sentinels. What you got, Chance?
GLaDOS from Portal.
Oh, that sarcastic bastard.
I love her so much. She's so sardonic and cruel
and
but
horrible.
has no emotion in the voice, but yet gets that emotion through. It's a very talented performance.
Yeah, it
I
was
love that.
Helen
And
McClane that voiced her.
I am not sure.
I
I
think
used to have an eye doctor that would sound a lot like her, and it made me really uncomfortable.
Oh,
She's like, number one or number two? Number one or number two? And I'm like, GLaDOS, if there isn't a cake at the end of this, I'm going to be very upset.
She was also in the Lego Dimensions game.
GLaDOS was in Lego Dimensions.
Yeah, because Chell was one of the playable characters.
Was that game worth it?
At the time, absolutely.
Yeah.
As far as like that style of game where you have to move the toys on the board and whatever, yeah, for a Lego fan, sure, it was a lot of fun.
Hmm. Yeah, because like I was debating on getting that a while ago, but then I don't know. I just felt like it was just following like Disney Infinite and
Yeah, it was very much
Skylanders.
just I mean, it was Lego's version of that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a lot of fun. But yeah, unfortunately, they came in at the end of that toy to life market, so they came into it at the end of that lifespan. But
Shit.
what we got out of it was a lot of fun. I mean, Gary Oldman was the voice of the villain, so
Rest in peace, Gary Oldman. He's not dead, but goddamn can he act.
My heartbeat kind of stopped for a second, like, fuck off, he's dead? Like, why didn't I know this? But
At one point, I'm afraid that I'm going to like be in public somewhere, and someone's going to just turn out to be Gary Oldman making a movie, and I've been in it. Because he's such a great actor.
it's true.
Yeah. What would be the best performance you could probably throw in for Gary Oldman? Like, your favorite character, I should say.
Probably Reznov from Call of Duty World at War.
Oh
Uh,
no, it was his name was fuck, what was his name in True Romance? I'm blanking. I got it. Drexel. I know, there we go. He played
okay.
Drexel in True Romance. God damn, was that a good character?
I gotta watch that movie again. Shit. And that was made by Tarantino, wasn't it?
No, that was fuck. Who Ridley Scott's brother that passed away. Also was director. And,
I'm drawing a blank, but
I can't think of it right now either. But yeah, that was it was a script from Tarantino.
Okay.
But it wasn't directed by him. He sold the script for True Romance to get the funding to make Reservoir Dogs.
Shit.
Which was a good movie.
Damn. Okay, so wait, did we do your second one? No?
Yeah, mine was the Call of Duty Infinite guy. It was a robot.
Oh, okay. All right. And then getting down to it, number one, obviously, Iron Giant. I've already said my part for it, so yeah, Iron Giant number one for me, hands down. Chance, what you got for number one?
So mine's kind of a split answer since it's the same. It's essentially the same, but I'm going to go with Commander Data from Star Trek Next Generation.
I was waiting for you to bring him up.
But slash Isaac from the Orville, because they are the exact same character archetype, and they share many similarities. Isaac is obviously a direct homage to Data. But I rewatched all of the Orville recently, and I've also been watching a lot of Star Trek TNG and seeing the similarities between the two characters. Has been really fun to watch. But yeah, Data is iconic. In terms of famous robots or androids.
Yeah.
Robots.
But yeah, Data's great. I mean, in the second episode of TNG, they have him fuck Tasha Yar. Because he lets her know that he is fully functional in every way.
Oh, fair enough.
That episode's called The Naked Now. Like the second episode of Star Trek The Next Generation just gets horny on main.
Holy shit.
Does it vibrate?
The thing is, like, you got me thinking of the movie Heavy Metal. Do you remember it by any chance there, Chance?
The 80s cartoon heavy metal?
Yeah, that was like based off the magazine or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
You're making me think of the bit with John Candy playing the robot, and they abduct the
Mm.
girl from the office, and
Right.
just after they screw, he's like, I'm fully functional. Screws on his hand, and it flies off like across the room. No, it's a movie you should watch. It's a good
I've
stoner
seen it
film. Oh, you have?
many years ago, but I've seen it.
Oh, I still watch it today. It's such a good movie.
Is it if it's streaming on anything? That'd be fucking awesome. But I'm not sure anymore. I know it was on Netflix for a little bit.
I think Amazon Prime last time I saw it. Hell of a cast for that time too. I know, like, what was it? Eugene
It was
Levy,
the
John
robot.
Candy. Oh,
No, John King.
John Candy was the robot in that bit.
Fun fact: John Candy was a kind of a huge part of Chicago when he got started in acting.
I believe that. Oh, shit.
He was in a thing called Second City, which is, I think, 6 miles south of me.
There's actually, it's funny you bring up Second City. There's a podcast I found called Dark Hollywood, and each episode covers like the dark past of like certain celebrities over the years. And I listened to one where it was on Chris Farley, and he got his big break at Second City. That would eventually take him from Second City to SNL, like within the following year. But okay. So then you gave your number one there, Chance. Gnome, number one for robots.
Yeah. Probably, I think it's B2. I think is what it's called. The Titan from the story from Titanfall 2 storyline.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's a good one.
Great robot.
Yeah, I didn't get too attached to that character, but I did like it. What's your topic there, Mr. Curator?
So I've been obviously I'm a big fan of pro wrestling, and I've been watching a lot in the lead up here to AEW All Out this
Right.
Sunday. Sunday, and so I was thinking about some of the moments where the crowd just goes absolutely ape shit for something that's happening, whether it's a wrestler returning, something just the intensity of the match or the quality of the match, just making the crowd go bananas. So I was thinking about that. So I'm going to go with not necessarily in any particular order, but I wrote down 5 moments of wrestling history that were big ones for me. So I'm going to start with Jericho pins Triple H for the WWE Championship. This was back, it's like 2001. It was before Jericho had ever won the championship. And this was just a match on Raw. And Jericho hits the Lion Salt on Triple H, and Earl Hebner, the referee, did an admittedly very fast count because Hebner hated Triple H. So he fast counted him. So Jericho wins the championship. Crowd fucking goes berserk. Of course, later that night, he was stripped of it, and it was given back to Triple H because they determined that the referee counted too fast.
Oh, fuck.
Which gave Triple H even more heat and made the crowd even hotter for Jericho to actually be able to hold the strap. But that was one. I mean, I was watching it live when it happened, and I was one of the ones freaking the fuck out at home watching it because I'm a huge Jericho-holic and have been since 1996. But yeah.
So, with you being a Jericho-holic, were you a fan of his band Fozzy by any chance?
I mean, I like Fozzy.
Yeah.
They're not my favorite band, but they've got a few good tracks.
Oh yeah, I don't mind them either. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an AEW watcher and you like Jericho, I mean, the song Judas is his theme song, and everyone sings along to it. So,
oh shit. Okay, now I think I got to start tuning into AEW now.
I'll send you a link. There was one match that he had with MJF where he couldn't play Judas, like that was part of the conditions, is that he couldn't do that theme song. So the audience sang it.
Oh
because
shit!
they know every word. So it's just the audience just sings Jericho out to the ring.
Damn.
It was pretty great.
What is it here? Who wants to take the helm next on wrestling moments?
Don't really much about wrestling moments, sadly.
Okay. I'll let you think and I'll take the wheel on this one. I can't remember. I think it was like a wrestling invasion of some sort. It was, I want to say, late 90s, early 2000s. And I want to say maybe it was either WCW or Raw, where like a bunch of wrestlers showed up and took on like the WWE. And it was like a full on match, like throughout the stadium. And all of a sudden you see Stone Cold come ripping in through his truck and people are losing it, and he's like taking out every fucker on the way to the ring with like he had like a bat in his truck or something like that,
Yeah.
and
No, yeah.
he's taking out each prick that like getting in his way, and like the crowd just losing it all the way to him getting there and just like shoveling out wrestler after wrestler. You might remember it better than me, or what it was exactly, Chance, but I do know that it has to do with
It
something
sounds
with
like,
another
I mean, that
faction.
sounds like, yeah, like the WCW invasion, which would have been in like 2001.
Okay. Yeah.
Because WCW's final episode of Nitro was March 26th, 2001. And then wrestlers started showing up in WWE just a couple months later.
Oh, damn. So that's why they invaded and like started this whole
Oh,
fiasco.
because Vince bought it. Vince bought WCW.
Oh,
So he bought out his own competition.
I remember hearing that announcement too, and just thinking, "Wow, this guy's got fucking money." Shit.
Yeah. And
The-
now he's not even a part of the company anymore.
Right.
Womp womp.
He stepped away,
Mhm.
didn't he? Hey, or
Yep, he had to.
yeah,
They found out that he had spent millions and millions and millions of dollars of company funds to pay women off to stay silent about all of the sexual assault.
Damn.
that's some shady shit. But at the same time, I'm like,
Carney's gonna carny, man.
it's Vince fucking McMahon.
Well, Vince McMahon may see federal prison, so
Oh, guaranteed, especially after this fiasco. Good lord.
yeah, because they lied to the shareholders about the money getting spent. That's where the FEC comes in, and they do not fuck around with shit like that.
Oh god. Um. Wow, I didn't even think. Sorry,
Yeah,
just hearing this, like I think it was on one of your episodes of Terrifying Tomes, where it's like you don't know if it's like a promo stunt or something like that
right.
being
You
done.
don't know if it's a work or a shoot.
But at the same time, in 2022, when a lot of people are like more comfortable coming forward about it, it almost makes you think like this shit can happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who the fuck you are and what celebrity of what media, like it could happen.
Yep.
You know, so still nothing yet. Hey, no.
I don't really watch much wrestling, man.
No, not even like from the 90s or early 2000s.
I mean, like I grew up like a little bit, but like it was just like highlights in my memory, like here and there.
Right.
And I grew up playing more of the games.
Okay. Yeah,
And that counts.
that does count. Like I know for me, like I don't watch a whole lot of wrestling anymore either, but I did watch a lot of it in the 90s and then early 2000s as well. And then thanks to, well, not really thanks to COVID, but with all these WrestleManias that WWE or F has been putting on YouTube free to watch, it's kind of cool
Yeah.
to see all the WrestleManias and whatnot. What's another one you could throw in there, Chance?
So I want to say, and these are, like I said, not in any particular order.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy versus Pac from they wrestled on pay-per-view a couple years ago, and this match, like Orange was already over. Which people that aren't familiar, Orange Cassidy, his gimmick is that he's lazy. They call him the King of Sloth Style. He's very much based on Paul Rudd's character from Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
is that the guy with like always wears the shades, has
Yep.
his hands in his pockets and whatnot?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very much Paul Rudd.
So this was the biggest match that he'd been booked for in AEW. So normally, he just did the slothy, lazy gimmick, and that's all people had seen from him. So in that match, he actually goes. Like, I mean, because Orange is a hell of a wrestler. He just only does it when he wants to. And Pac is one of the best wrestlers in the world. I mean, he's a British bastard, smarmy, like but he's so good and he's jacked. So, but those two guys had so much fun wrestling each other. And one Pac's finisher is this big spin splash off the top rope. And so he gets to the top rope, and Orange just starts rolling to the other side of the ring, but like really slowly. So then Pac gets down, goes around, climbs up onto that turnbuckle, but by the time he gets up there, Orange is rolled to the other side of the ring. So Pac runs around the apron, and like as Orange is rolling and gets there, and Orange rolls and comes face to face with Pac. And Pac is smiling, and Orange just gives this like, stupid shit-eating grin of just like, and then starts rolling back the other way. The crowd is going fucking bananas because Orange also has these kicks that he does where he's not even doesn't even barely make contact with you. It's just very lazy, like tap,
tap and then walk back kind of deal.
tap, tap. But the crowd always treats it like they're fucking chops. Like it like barely taps their leg, and the crowd just like, oh, 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 and then he'll back up a couple steps and do like a super kick, but to their shin, and it doesn't connect. Like but it's all mind games. He's just getting his opponent pissed off, so they'll lunge at him, and then he can use their momentum against them because that's how he wrestles. Like someone comes charging at him, he's going to use their momentum to pull them into a small package and pin them very quickly and efficiently.
That is smart.
But yeah, OC Pac, I think it was Full Gear 2020. What a fucking match. And it really, I think it won a lot of people over on Orange, including Jim Ross, the commentator. JR had not been a fan of Orange and had kind of shit on him in commentary until that match when he finally got the gimmick and was like, this guy's incredible. Yeah.
Like, well, I'm sold.
Yeah. JR was just, he gets it now.
Now, JR, like, does he still commentate for WE?
No, he's with AEW now.
Wow, so AEW is like taking like all of WWE and making it better. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they got their main commentators are Tony Schiavone, who used to be WCW's commentator for Nitro.
Oh wow.
Back in the 90s. They got Tony Schiavone, they've got Jim Ross, they've got Taz, and they've got Excalibur.
Is Jerry Lawler still a commentator?
No.
No, he's done.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He hasn't. I mean, he still does like indie dates, or they used to trot him out for like Legends Night or something. But
okay.
He doesn't really commentate anymore.
Oh shit. Okay, so I'm gonna throw one. I can't remember the year for this. I know you, Wojo Crow, and I talked about this when he was guest starring on here. Probably when it was Undertaker versus Mankind in the steel cage match.
Yeah, Hell in a Cell 1998.
Yeah, and they got on top of the cage, grabs him, and just slams him through the cage into the floor.
Yeah.
And it's just seeing
that was after he'd been thrown off the cage.
Right. Like I remember like watching that as like a kid and thinking that guy's dead.
Like, I mean, that's what Undertaker thought.
Like
they did in the Mick Foley documentary. It shows Taker, and after the cage broke because it wasn't supposed to break.
Right.
The roof of the cell broke. Foley fell through, landed in the ring. Chair came down, hit him in the face, broke his tooth out, and then he aspirated his tooth up into his sinuses. So his tooth ended up coming out of his nose.
What the hell? Well, Lisa got out, but shit.
Yeah. But yeah, when he hit the ground and was just laying there, Taker was standing on the top of the cell, and he said in the documentary, like, I thought he was dead. I thought I killed him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He probably should have been dead.
Well, he should have been, if not already going on the floor from the, like, good God.
Is Foley still alive or no?
Oh, he's still alive. He goes touring.
Because I remember, like, one of my friends had a book, I think, like, in 8th grade, that, like, covered, like, that. I think it was, like, an autobiography or whatever, and it covered, like, all of his injuries.
Oh, that guy's got to have, like, a record of injuries.
Foley is Good, his first book.
Yeah.
Or no, Foley is Good was the second. The first one was just called Mankind.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, like he's better. He must have really good insurance to cover all those injuries. Like I would not want to see the bill on all of Mankind's injuries because he took a beating.
He got his ear ripped off.
By who?
Well, it was the ring ropes that did it, but it was in a match with Vader in Japan. The ring ropes were tightened too tight, and he did the hangman spot where you go through the ropes and you kind of twist them around your neck. So
Oh,
then
it kind of holds you in there.
Yeah, well, you're hanging from it, but you're fine. Like,
Right.
but it looks bad. So he did the hangman spot, but the ropes were too tight. So when he pulled himself free, it ripped his ear off.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
The fact that
Foley's
Mankind is still
hardcore.
the fact that Foley's still walking around today. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He's
Damn.
hardcore.
Any moments on the video games there, Gnome?
What's that?
Any moments on the video games? Did you
Remember
make the
big
crowd
moments
woo?
the moments you popped for something you did in the video game.
Well, playing one of the
Was it the bra and panty
storyline,
matches or what?
there was one scene where John Cena's bitch ass gets thrown into one of those big fucking stage lights or whatever.
Mhm.
Really
I get
rocked
that.
his world.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Showed that fucking nerd what's what, took his lunch money.
You're not a fan of Cena?
I like him as an actor, and I never really did get into his wrestling.
Cena as a person and an actor, I'm a big fan. Cena in wrestling, I think he is overrated and boring.
I'm with you guys on that one. There was
God damn, he's super vascular.
there was a kid I grew up with, and he was obsessed with John Cena. Like, even had the shirt and the hat of the whole "you can't see me," and I'm just like, I got fucking annoyed by that quick.
I mean, I was going for, pops, like huge crowd reactions that are positive, but fuck, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a crowd hate someone more than they hated John Cena at ECW One Night Stand.
What happened at that match?
I thought he might die. It was his second ECW reunion, right?
Okay.
So WWE was putting it on, but they did it in the Hammerstein Ballroom, which was like home away from home for ECW. And they brought back a bunch of the ECW guys. This was right before they were relaunching ECW as a brand. So Rob Van Dam, who was the longest reigning TV champion of ECW,
Right.
one of its endearing stars, RVD was Mr. Money in the Bank. So he and Cena was champ, and RVD announced ahead of time, I'm going to cash in my Money in the Bank briefcase where the odds are extremely in my favor. ECW One Night Stand. So this place is packed to the gills. Cena's music hits, and this banner unfurls from the balcony that says, "If Cena wins, we riot."
I remember this story you told me now.
Yeah.
That like Cena basically had to give in.
I mean, he threw his shirt into the crowd and they threw it back. And he threw his shirt into the crowd and they spit on it and threw it back. And he threw the shirt back into the crowd and someone wiped their ass with it and threw it back.
Oh,
like, they hated him. And so Cena's just getting mercilessly booed. And then Rob Van Dam just stands in the ring, looks around, puts his thumbs up, and just without even saying anything, just does
everyone
the thumbs 3 times.
it.
And everyone just goes, "Oh, Van Dam." It's like if Cena wins here, that he might die. This crowd may literally tear him to pieces.
I mean, Rob Van Dam was a fucking phenomenal wrestler.
And he won the championship, and then he had to lose it because he got suspended for getting pulled over with pills and weed.
Oh, that's so stupid.
What kind of pills, though?
I don't know. It was him and Sabu, so there's no telling.
Yeah, but like for pot, it's like fuck.
And also, it's like it's RVD, man.
Yeah, like come on, give him some slack. Shit. What's another moment you could throw in there? Like, was that your choice there, Chance, or do you got a different one?
No, that was just kind of a seg.
Okay, sure.
Hogan versus The Rock at WrestleMania. Hogan came into that match the heel, and at the end of the match, he was the most over face in the company.
Now, was
Um,
that during
that was when
NWO?
so this was when WWE had brought in Hogan, Nash, and Hall to do the NWO angle in WWE.
Okay.
And so it led to the NWO, the Invaders, facing off against WWE guys. So it was Hogan, Rock, the two biggest stars of their generations.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I said, Hogan went into it as the evil leader of the NWO, and at the end of that match, he was true American red and yellow Hulk Hogan all over again.
Yep.
And the babyface turn through the match was just beautifully done. Like the crowd, Hogan and Rock, before they even touch each other, they're just standing in the middle of the ring, and that crowd was electric.
Just having those two iconic wrestlers stare each other down.
Just staring each other down. I mean, that crowd was hot and ready for it. And the match, I mean, Hogan, he was never a great wrestler, and neither was The Rock, really. But they had charisma for ages. So, like, the match itself was fine, but you didn't care about the technical aspect of it because you're watching these icons just go one-on-one for the very first time. It was a great match.
Oh.
My brother actually got to meet Hulk Hogan.
Oh shit! When?
Yeah. So my brother works for a car auction company, and he got to drive him around on a golf cart.
Oh shit! What was he like? Was he all right?
Like really funny and like a super nice guy.
Well, that's good. I got probably two more in mind for moments.
I also have two more.
I'm gonna go with, I think it was WrestleMania 3 or 4, if I remember, when it was Jake the Snake versus Macho Man. I might be wrong on the WrestleMania, but I know what happened at WrestleMania back then. And it was when Jake got Macho Man tied up in the ropes
and
brought out his
snake got him.
It was like a cobra or something like that.
Yeah.
And like, he's like latching his teeth right onto his muscles, and he's bleeding out, and like kids are fucking freaking out in the crowds too, and like get brought on the stretcher. I'm like, what do you expect? It's fucking Jake the Snake, dude. Like,
Jake the Snake's awesome, dude. He's still around.
Oh, I love it that he's still around. I remember seeing the documentary of the resurrection of Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
I am so happy he's still around. Like, fuck me, he went through
He's
hell.
in AEW. He's Lance Archer's manager.
Nice.
And yeah, he's great. He's still cutting amazing promos, and it's great. It's good that he's being taken care of.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's still here for sure. Like, but even like for Macho Man, like he's not around anymore, sadly.
Rest in peace. The true American hero.
He got kicked around in the behind stage a little bit, especially by Andre the Giant.
Well, it's Andre.
But like there was I think it was a documentary on his life, and Hulk Hogan does like probably the best Macho Man impression. And he's like, when we were playing cards, he didn't want Macho Man near us. He hated him. And the nickname he gave him was Baby Oil, because Macho Man will like fucking lather up in baby oil to show off the guns and everything. And he shows up in there, and my Macho Man impression's horrible. He's like, "Hey there, brother, we're gonna be doing this thing in the ring today. You ready?" And Andre just turns around and is like, "No baby oil, get out of here," and backhands him into the chest, and he goes running out the fucking door. I'm just like, shit. Yeah, I'd be terrified of Andre regardless, dude. All right.
Andre is a legend, man.
Oh fuck.
My old roommate, his dad got to meet Andre as a kid.
Really?
Yeah. He was a little guy, not Andre. Andre is obviously massive.
Did he drive him around on a golf cart?
More like a fucking Tonka truck you would need for him. Shit.
Andre palmed his head like a basketball.
Yeah.
And picked him up.
There's some promo ad where I can't remember the promo announcer's name that always interviewed the wrestlers backstage. He passed away recently. He had just like a mustache and whatnot.
Mean Gene Okerlund.
That's it, yeah. And he's interviewing Andre, And he's like, look at the size of his hand next to my face, and puts his head next to it, and all Andre does is just like smush his face entirely with his hand.
Mean Gene, what a
Oh,
treasure.
fuck, rest in peace, buddy. So what other moments we got? You said you got 2 more in the chamber?
Yeah, so this was WrestleMania 2019, maybe 2020.
Okay.
No, it wasn't 2020. It would have been 2019 because WrestleMania 2020 was held in a empty performance center.
That looked weird.
I have thoughts, but there was one good match that came out of it. I'll say that. But beyond that, there was the pay-per-view was starting with a tag team ladder match for the tag team title. So it was like, I think they had 5 tag teams in there. And then after all 5 are in there, the New Day come out because they were hosting the WrestleMania, but they're in full gear. Like, they're ready to wrestle. And they're like, it's time to add one more team to this match. And
I know
the
exactly what you're
crowd's
talking
hot,
about.
and they're like, this is going to be, the New Day is going to be in the match. The New Day are awesome. And then the Hardy Boys music hits.
That fucking bass line that opens.
Yeah.
I saw that. Everyone lost their shit.
Matt and Jeff come out, and that stadium just goes nuts, freaking out that the Hardy Boys are back in WWE.
Oh.
And now they're in AEW. Well, Matt's in AEW and Jeff is suspended, but
I remember watching that, and I don't think I remember watching the match, but it was like on a Facebook feed. And yeah, I'm just as stunned that the Hardy Boys were even back at that time. It was so sweet.
Yeah, it was a nice little homecoming tour for them.
Oh yeah, easily. What else could I throw in here? It was during Hollywood Hogan's heel era, and I think it was at Nitro. Pretty sure. And it was the return of Roddy Piper. Him and I can't remember the other guy that was standing in the ring, and Hogan's talking smack and whatnot, and then all of a sudden you hear the bagpipes playing. It's like a whole bagpipe march, and they split up, and all you see at the end is Roddy Piper with his kilt and leather jacket and just staring at him like, I will fuck you up so fast. I'm like, get him, buddy.
I miss Roddy Piper.
Fuck, hometown. Oh, fuck, he's a hometown hero where I live, man. I remember when the news broke out that he passed away, and some friends and we went to a local pub, and it was a sports pub, and we go in there, and all the stations that played all the different sports were off, and it was just Roddy Piper's wrestling matches on different TVs. And you had some bagpipes playing in the corner, and people had like the Scottish flag like painted on their faces. And I'm like, fuck yeah, he would have loved this homecoming here.
He was so good in everything that he did. He was a great wrestler. He was a great promo. He's a great actor. I still loved him as the Maniac, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I've now that I know he's in Sunny in Philadelphia, I can't wait to see that because
he's in a few episodes. Yeah, he's in a few episodes. Like, is that a bucket of acorns in his car? You got kids, Maniac? No, not anymore.
Shit. There is a moment because like you brought up Jericho earlier, and there's one, and I like Jericho's fucking young, and there's like a moment with him and Roddy Piper in the ring because Jericho was like ripping on the movie The Wrestler that just came out at the time, and Rowdy, the way he worded it, he's like it doesn't matter how many hits I take, I will drag myself down to this ring because it's all the thrill of the fight, the thrill of the match. It's the people we do this for. Us old wrestlers don't need to pack it up or anything. I'm like, fuck. And you can see he got emotional saying that too.
Yeah, they brought Mickey Rourke in for a match during that time period too.
I did not know this. Damn. That was here. Okay. What's your final there, Chance?
My final is we just had the 1-year anniversary of it. CM Punk returns to professional wrestling.
1 year already. Damn.
I know. Punk had been away from wrestling for 7 years. He'd left WWE. They fired him on his wedding day. Yeah.
That's fucked.
And then he went and he had a not very successful MMA career. But then he wrote some comics. Just kind of took some time doing what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then rumors started to circulate that he was going to be coming to AEW. And then AEW started to drop hints in their programming where they're like, they just debuted their secondary show, Rampage. And it had its first episode. And then for the second episode of Rampage, all of a sudden they booked the United Center in Chicago, which holds 20,000 plus people. They didn't announce anything for it. They just were like, oh yeah, no, we booked the United Center for episode 2, and we're calling it the First Dance.
And just
you know why?
nonchalant.
I know though, because the Chicago Bulls Last Dance, yes.
You know why they chose Chicago?
Because that's where CM Punk is from.
Yeah, he's kind of like from Seneca, which is like south of Chicago, but yeah, he's
Close enough.
He's a local.
Yeah,
he's a local to the northern Illinois.
Yes, Chicago loves Punk.
The only reason why I know that is because one of my friends was a huge CM Punk fan, and he went to a town called Seneca for school, and he would see him all the time.
Yeah.
Out and about.
Yeah.
So
super cool guy, I guess.
They book United Center, and you've got Darby Allin cutting a promo being like, it doesn't matter if you think you're the best in the world. And that's what Punk always called himself.
Yeah.
And there's just like, why would they book the United Center? Why are they going to try to pull 20,000 fans in for a 1-hour wrestling show? Like what is happening here? So it became more and more obvious, like Punk's coming back. Like, and they sold out the United Center on a rumor that CM Punk would be there. And then I saw the YouTube footage of a fan like right before the show went live, because this aired live on TNT. But right before they went live, Tony Khan, owner of AEW, comes out and he's very emotional. His voice is cracking, and he's like, "Thank you all so much for your faith in me and AEW. In just a few moments, that faith's going to be rewarded." And then he goes to the back. They go live on Rampage. The crowd is, it's packed, full capacity, 20,000 fans.
Yeah.
Every single one of them chanting CM Punk. Just CM Punk, CM Punk. And then the lights go down and Cult of Personality by Living Colour starts to play. And I swear to God, that building was shaking. Like, the vibration of the sound was just shimmering the building in place. And then it pops up on the screen, CM Punk. And Punk walks out of the fucking entryway. And I can, anytime I watch it, it gives me chills. Like, there's so much energy in there. That place had not been that hot for a sporting event since the era of Michael Jordan. Like,
shit. I remember you sharing this YouTube clip with me. Yeah. And like he was choked up and in tears for like all the warm welcome that he like jumped into the crowd over the fence. Yep. And like, he was like crowd surfing back. Like,
yeah.
Oh, so much love.
And you can see the security guards being like, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
Yeah, it's like, fuck, we had one job, man.
It's just gonna stage dive. God damn it.
I wonder how much he weighs.
Oh, he can't weigh too much.
Over 200, but
yeah.
That's quite a lot of weight body surfing.
Oh, but like,
wrestling fans have a lot of mass.
It's kind of cool that a lot of these wrestlers from like 2000s are coming back. Like, was it Edge is supposed to be coming back for a match?
Oh no, Edge has been back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought
he started his own faction and then they turned against him and now he's the face.
Oh,
but
shit.
Yeah, he's been back for a while.
Huh.
I think he plans on doing a final retirement here soon, but that way he can do it on his terms.
Okay.
Because before he had to retire because, the doctors made him.
Yeah.
Now he gets to retire because he's ready to hang it up, which, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that we're still seeing some rated R superstar action. Gnome, you said your topic was something about military games being more realistic, or
not more. It has more at stake. Like,
Okay.
there's a game called Spec Ops: The Line.
Okay. I
And
remember the name, but I never played it.
all right, so there's a not really a bit of the game where like you're calling in white phosphorus on like these bad guys that are shooting at you.
Oh
And so what
yeah.
white phosphorus is just smoke, but it shoots out these little metal particles that cook you if you get near it.
Oh shit.
So you're calling in this white phosphorus, you're fucking burning the bad guys to death, and then you'll see on the screen, like because you're like looking through this camera, and you get to like this one area where it's just filled, like it's white as hell because
Mm-hmm.
it's a thermal camera, and you're like, that's a lot of bad guys.
Yeah.
And if you call in white phosphorus on it, you've killed a whole bunch of innocent civilians,
Holy shit.
and it gives your no matter whether or not you do it, the outcome is never good because the other outcome is they like throw rocks and shit at you, and then you just gun them all down. Yeah, it's a very brutal thing, and why I bring it up is because I want games like games to have more at stake. Because and like Charlie Don't Surf and Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the
Yes.
first one, there'd be civilians like all over the place.
Yeah, like when we mentioned this earlier, before recording, I went and watched that gameplay for Charlie Don't Surf. And that was the mission where you went over there with
With a helicopter.
with the Marines, and you were trying to get Al Assad like out of like the broadcasting
Yeah.
station. And like seeing it, I'm like, yeah, I could see a bunch of civilians there, but at the same time, it's a organization, or it's terrorists that have like taken over a broadcasting station and probably took out majority of the civilians, taking over that bit of land just for
Well,
like kind of like an HQ or a home base. I don't know, something like that.
because and what happened in Fallujah, which is why I bring this up. So the U.S. military gave the people of Fallujah so many days to evacuate because they said, in this many days, we are going to attack, and started counting down. And because a lot of the people had nowhere to go, they just stayed,
Yeah,
and a lot of them got killed by whether it be white phosphorus or just being at the wrong place at the wrong time.
yeah,
Which they're making a game sort of based about all that called 6 Days in Fallujah,
right.
where it talks about the 6 days that they fought over that fucking city,
Hmm.
and it was they have civilians in it, and like people are like mad and upset about that. I think for like military shooters should have more at stake rather than be, oh yeah, there's just bad guys everywhere. Don't worry, there's no civilians.
I don't know.
For some
Go ahead.
for some reason, it makes me think of that scene in Men in Black where they're making him do the test in the street with the aliens and the little girl.
He
Oh
fucking blasts
shit.
the little girl.
That girl is up to some shit.
Yeah,
That textbook is way too advanced for her.
yeah. I'm not gonna take out this guy. He could just be working out. Like, what
Yeah.
if I'm at the gym
Yeah.
and someone takes me out while I'm doing curl ups? I ain't gonna like it.
Right, I'm not gonna be a fan.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you talking about that, like I immediately think of the mission No Russian from Modern
Yeah.
Warfare 2. Like immediately, like, yeah, there's a lot of like a lot at stake. Like sadly you have to like blend in with them because you're undercover, but at the same time, what happens is like, has anyone ever done like a run of like not killing any civilians?
And that one, yeah, they immediately kill you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I don't know.
You don't have to kill them; you can shoot above their heads, but
Yeah, but if you don't shoot, they
they're
kill
still
you.
doing. Yeah, they're still doing a lot of killing,
Yeah.
whether or not you are.
I don't think you could skip that mission when it originally came out, but I think with the re-release, I think
They
you can now.
they did.
Yeah.
They made so you could skip it because they're like, yes, some
That
this might be a
was
little too graphic.
that
And
was
I played it,
so
but that
fucking
was
controversial
horrible.
when it came out.
Yeah,
Like, fuck. A friend I had, he played it and his dad went fucking ballistic. I remember he broke his Xbox after seeing that. You're not playing shit like this? I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go.
How old was he?
We were like in grade 9, so
Dude, that came out when I was like in junior high, so you've been way older than that.
yeah.
Because
Let me look it up
I
here.
did the Tasling that year, and I got the special edition, and I was so disappointed by that fucking game. Not the storyline. The storyline is pretty cool. The multiplayer fucking sucked.
2009 it came out, so okay, yeah, so I'd be in grade 10. Yeah, like near the end of grade 10 I was in. But yeah, like yeah, I just remember like yeah, his dad fucking went ballistic after seeing that shit. Like I could see like anyone getting upset over that mission cuz yeah, it was controversial all over. But
Yeah.
yeah, just you just saying like there needs to be more at stake. And all I could think of is no Russian in me. Like there's a lot at stake on that one. What about you? Oh, go ahead.
Because like I want like because I got really into Mill Sims when I switched over to PC.
Did you say MILF Sims?
I thought I
I
heard
want
that
actual
too.
MILFs, not simulators of those things. Big fan of MILFs. No, Mill Sims like military simulators.
Oh, okay. So what, like Command and Conquer and stuff like that, or?
More like Squad. Battlefield is kind of like a loose one.
Hmm.
Ready or Not, which is a fun game where you play the SWAT officer.
I still have yet to get that game because that does look pretty good.
It's a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and like they do a thing where it's like again there's a lot at stake. You have to like apprehend or take down a mass shooter,
Hmm.
and they don't have very many maps for it. And they were like, we want to do a school shooting one. And everyone's like, but I think that'd be really cool to do. As fucked up as it is, because you're not the school shooter, you're the guy taking out the school shooter.
Yeah. I don't know. I get what you mean, but I feel like especially right now where like school shootings are happening like fuck, not even once a month anymore, like more often than ever. Like that'd be very touchy. But at the same time, I could see something like that being added, especially something like Ready or Not if you're working for like a SWAT team.
Yeah,
It's touchy, but yeah. Chance, what do you got on this? Like, for games like this that needs to be more at stake, or like what would you think make them more at stake?
I mean, I think that there are ones that are at least similar. I mean, like the Splinter Cell franchise always had a bunch of civilians,
Mm-hmm.
and that was something you had to keep an eye out for in terms of who you were killing. Um, so I think it kind of depends on the franchise, but I mean, yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, like some of the early like Rainbow Six games, like that Rainbow Six Vegas or whatever. Me and my friends did a lot of couch co-op with that when it came out, and I mean, there's not a civilian in sight, and
No.
it's Las Vegas,
Yeah.
like. So I mean, I think a lot of it was just, I mean, limitations of hardware.
Yeah.
I say that, but then I look at something like Assassin's Creed Unity, which had those dense fucking crowds. Best Assassin's Creed game in my opinion, but
Yeah. Oh,
actually, I really like. What's one you hate? I like that one, just because you hate it.
what the new RPG ones?
Yeah,
Yeah, those aren't Assassin's Creed games.
I've never played them.
Those are just big action RPGs, which is fine,
no.
but it's not Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
No.
they shouldn't down the Assassin's Creed game. I agree.
So
Yeah.
because like I never played the games. Is Valhalla kind of following that path as well? Because I know that's like the latest one.
Yeah, Origins, Valhalla, and I don't know if there's another one since then. Or yeah, there's the Odyssey. But yeah, all three of those are like action RPGs that are just very loosely connected to the lore of Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Like, I mean, there's enemies that you can't even like use the hidden blade to kill because they're such higher level than you. it's like that defeats the entire purpose of Assassin's Creed. Is
Oh,
that
fuck.
you just if you plan ahead, you can take out anybody.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked Unity so much with its dense crowds, because you could work your way through the crowd seamlessly,
Mm-hmm.
right up to the back of your target, hit them with the hidden blade, and slip back into the crowd and be gone before they hit the ground. Like it made you legitimately feel like an assassin.
It was right there in the title. That was like the whole
Right.
point of it. Yeah.
And then, they kind of branch out a little bit. I mean, I like the the pirate one, Black
Oh,
Flag.
Black
Flag.
Flag. Yeah.
I mean, I liked that, but that started to already move into a little bit more of an arcadey style. And then
Yeah,
at Syndicate, I also really enjoyed playing, but it started being a little bit more generous with the climbing mechanics and
well, to be fair, like some of the climbing in that game was ass. Because you'd be like
but you had
climbing
to
up a building,
plan
or that you'd be like running up like climbing a building, and your
and then
character's
just
like,
jump.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
that made me want to break so many controllers.
but I liked when you were like climbing a wall and you had to look for the handholds and
Yeah.
know like that's where you had to do it. And the new games, you just like press Y and you can just scale anything.
That
There's
takes the fun out of it.
yeah, there's no skill
Hmm.
involved. It's just and the enemies have hit point counters over their heads, and I don't know. It's just not my
What?
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's whatever.
You'd
If
be,
people like it, awesome, play them. Just not for me.
I think that's sort of an issue now with Ubisoft, is they're kind of doing that with all of their games.
Yeah, you said you weren't too happy with the last
Far
two.
Cry 6.
No,
Far
not
Cry 6.
or Far Cry
I
6. I was thinking about
look like dog shit.
what was it? Breakpoint and Wildlands? No.
Wildlands, I like. I have some issues with it though,
Mm-hmm.
and one of those issues is you're supposed to be a special forces guy, and the whole point of the Ghost unit was they're invisible.
Right.
They have nothing for camouflage mechanics in that game because when one guy spots you, the whole country of Bolivia knows where you're at.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
that Mulan meme. Everyone in China knows you're here.
Yeah.
Man.
But it's just it's stupid. And then like Breakpoint, they're like, oh yeah, we have some camouflage mechanics now, but it's also an MMO like The Division, and it's super futuristic, and it's also a loot shooter. All right, have fun.
Poop shooter.
Yeah, like what's another good poop shooter? Destiny. Destiny's a great poop shooter.
There's a few friends from our group. They're gnome like Ashton and them. They're trying to get me into Destiny 2, and I can't bring myself to do it. Even though it is free on Epic Games, I still can't bring myself to do
It's free everywhere, but the reason why it's free is because it fucking sucks.
it.
It has its loyal fan base, and I think those guys are fucking nerds. It's not even that good of gameplay. I don't know how Bungie went from Halo to that.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because like the only thing from Bungie I ever played was just Halo.
That was the only game they ever fucking made.
They never did anything else other than Destiny 2 or the Destiny
I think
franchise.
well, they had like some niche titles
Right.
before Halo, but then Halo was supposed to come to PC and Xbox when it first came out, and it did not. It was strictly Xbox.
Hence, when it came out with the Master Chief Collection, then you could play the old ones and everything like that on PC.
Mm-hmm. Although they made like a Halo game for the PC.
Yeah.
After like so many years, and it had a lot of cool mods on it and shit that people made. Like one of them was like flying around in like the ship that picks you up at the end of Halo.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. With games like it's like more at stake. I'm really drawing a
Or like if you,
blank on games.
I think of like what first person shooters do you play?
Lately, I don't know. Well, two of them are kind of retro FPS games I've been playing lately.
Like,
Hexen,
ever?
and it's a old PC game. And then I started playing Judge Dredd versus Judge Death. It was like from 2003. It's damn near 20 years old now.
Damn.
It's a good FPS game. They base it solely on the comics, not the movie. Um,
Like,
but
did you ever play Halo Reach?
no,
I don't think I ever finished it.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't even think I even played Reach. I think the last Halo game I played was ODST because eventually later on I heard Halo 4 wasn't great, so I didn't bother with it.
No, Halo 4 is hot dog shit.
And then Halo Infinite I played and I enjoyed that.
Halo Infinite I do like,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of pissed off that 343 is really dropping the ball severely.
Well,
But anyways, the reason why I bring up Reach is in Reach there's a part where you're trying to like make sure these shuttles filled with people are able to escape the city on Reach because like the Covenant are attacking, and if you don't like stop the Covenant from blowing them up, they'll kill all the civilians that are like getting shuttled out on these ships.
okay.
So there's like something at stake with that.
Okay. Rather than just simply like go from point A, point B, kill bad guy, all is well, and there's like no other
Right.
casualties or anything.
Right. So it's more like so when I say like things at stake, it's like it doesn't have to be like if you fuck up, you'll kill civilians, or if you're not fast enough, more people will die. It could also be like just total fucking annihilation of whatever, like a city or and whatnot, or like if you're if you're not careful, like you'll lose a lot of teammates, and there's nothing coming. Like there's no other help you have.
Well, I know like with Judge Dredd, Judge Death, I know like with that there's a lot at stake when you're playing that game because you make arrests in the game even throughout levels when you're like, gunning down like other criminals and whatnot. And the thing is that if you don't handcuff these people and you end up killing them, you have another like meter next to your ammo where if it gets too low, your the was it HQ will notify every other judge that you've gone rogue, and all the judges will turn on you and end up killing you instead. So there a lot can go at stake for that, but I don't know other games. I don't really have an idea. Like I could level with you on Call of Duty and stuff like that, where when you go to like certain parts of the world and it's just a fucking ghost town.
Yeah, and it's just filled with nothing but bad guys. Or like there's a game called Arma, like Arma 3 and all that.
Okay, I've heard of
Like,
them.
people set up like situations and like they'll like play with them with their friends and all that. Is like they'll ever seen the movie Black Hawk Down?
Yes.
Or heard of it?
Heard of it, never seen it though.
All right, so do you know what it's about other than Black Hawk going down, like the whole thing around it?
It was based on true events, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Based off a book, yeah.
Off a book, okay.
So like America was doing operations in Mogadishu, and the rules of engagement were do not fire unless fired upon. And these guys are like flying around in a helicopter with armed to the teeth that could just level an entire African village before anyone would realize it.
Okay.
And then like the civilians are trying to collect like these like humanitarian rations and shit, like all the food and supplies, and then a local militia takes it away from them and then just starts gunning them down. And like they can't do anything because the rules of engagement say they cannot fire unless fired upon.
Holy shit.
So like later on in like they go to do an operation. I think to try and capture or kill like a high priority target in
Okay.
Mogadishu, but they're not sure exactly where they're at. So they come in like landing helicopters, like dropping army rangers all over the city, and like coming in with Humvees, fucking guns blazing and all that. A Black Hawk gets shot down, and they're trying to save like the pilot and all like everyone on board that have survived, but they get there too late. And that's basically the whole movie. It was
Holy
supposed to be like a
fuck.
4-hour operation that turned into like 12. So like nobody packed NVGs. So anyways, people like in the armor community, they recreate that on the anniversary of that every year. You can watch it on YouTube. It's pretty interesting.
Wow.
And like that, like they'll add civilians and shit to like these operations, so there's something at stake and all that.
Hmm.
Really interesting shit that people do with that fucking game. Absolute virgins, but I would love to be a part of that. I'd gladly get my virginity card back if it means doing cool things in Arma.
I don't think developing games or working with games means you got your virgin card back, bud.
If you talk to these fucking nerds, you're like, there's no way you've ever seen boobs in person.
You know you're talking to a guy who's going back to school for video game development, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's video game developers that have kids and shit. I'm talking specifically the Arma community.
Oh,
They're like,
okay.
it'd be really cool if we recreated the assassination of Osama bin Laden on his compound. And that'd be really cool. And then they recreate it, and they're like, that was cool. Fucking virgins.
But wouldn't they
That's
like get banned from the servers then? Because I know like with the biggest one I've heard is that with Flight Simulator, they would ban people from the game entirely if they tried to recreate the Twin Towers 9/11 accident.
I think that's fucking stupid. Of them being banned for that. It's a video game.
Right, but like it's
fucked up.
it is
Kinda
fucked
funny.
up, but it's like at the same time if you're looking at it like from a government standpoint and you see someone pull shit like that, it's like fuck, there's another
At
plan
that
or
point,
something or what?
I'd be more worried if like they're like attacking the Pentagon or the White House or military installations.
I don't know. That shit's just really, really fucking dicey for me, man.
I know for when it first came out, people were landing planes on Epstein Island.
Oh God.
Hmm.
All right, that just took a second to click in on that one.
And there was also there was that hurricane going on around that time as well,
Yeah.
and people were flying planes into the hurricane.
Good God. Just wanted to watch the world burn. Okay.
Like, it's really interesting, and I wanted to get more into it, but there's only so much you can do when you take off. Like, that's cool. I'm gonna be up here for 5 hours.
All right here. So with about 5 minutes here, you guys recall the this or that we did a couple episodes ago, hey?
Yeah.
So I might start doing this thing like every few episodes. Another round of this, if you will.
Let's
This
do it
one,
now.
yeah. So this one this is animated edition. So I'm gonna have, I got 15 here again. Choose what show you guys prefer. Go from there.
Okay.
So Chance, you're up first. Once again, same rules apply. I'll give you this or that. No hesitation. First thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
All right, Chance, here we go. Futurama or The Simpsons?
Futurama.
South Park or Big Mouth?
South Park.
Family Guy or American Dad?
American Dad.
Archer or Bob's Burgers?
Bob's Burgers.
Rick and Morty or Invader Zim?
Invader Zim.
Venture Brothers or Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
Venture Brothers.
Beavis and Butthead or Daria?
Beavis and Butthead.
Robot Chicken or Metalocalypse?
Robot Chicken.
Boondocks or F is for Family?
Boondocks.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1980s, or X-Men from the 90s?
X-Men.
Spawn or Invincible?
Invincible. Damn it.
Courage the Cowardly Dog or Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo.
Flintstones or Jetsons?
Flintstones.
Animaniacs or Ed, Edd and Eddy?
Animaniacs.
Duckman or Ren and Stimpy?
Ren and Stimpy.
All right, there's your 15.
There's some good ones in there.
Were you sweating a bit on those?
I mean, there was a couple that it's like the Invincible and Spawn, where it's like, ugh, fuck, that's hard. But yeah.
Which, by the way, you listeners at home, if you ever want us to do a type of category or this or that, let us know in the comments, Twitter, YouTube. Let us know. We enjoy
an email.
we enjoy doing these. All right, Gnome, you ready?
Yep.
All right, Futurama or Simpsons?
Futurama.
South Park or Big Mouth?
South Park.
Family Guy or American Dad?
American Dad.
Archer or Bob's Burgers?
Archer, baby.
Rick and Morty? Rick and Morty or Invader Zim?
I have to say Rick and Morty because there's more seasons to that, sadly. If there was way more Invader Zim, I'd gladly say that instead.
Venture Brothers or Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Beavis and Butthead or Daria?
Beavis and Butthead.
Robot Chicken or Metalocalypse?
Metalocalypse.
The Boondocks or F is for Family?
I'm more of a Bill Burr fan. F is for family.
TMNT from the 1980s or X-Men from the 90s?
TMNT from the 80s.
Spawn or Invincible?
Spawn, babe.
Courage the Cowardly Dog or Scooby-Doo?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Flintstones or Jetsons?
Flintstones.
Animaniacs, Ed, Edd and Eddy?
Ed and Eddy.
Duckman or Ren and Stimpy?
Ren and Stimpy.
Okay. And then for me, it's Futurama, South Park, American Dad. Fuck. I'll go with Bob's Burgers because that's the only one I've watched. Rick and Morty, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Beavis and Butthead, Metalocalypse, The Boondocks, X-Men from the 90s, Spawn, Scooby-Doo, Flintstones, Animaniacs, and Duckman. I'll go for. All right, gang. Another good episode. 1 year BPGN, and we're still going. So from all of us at BPGN, thank you very much for being with us for our first year, guys. I couldn't ask for another amazing group of co-hosts on this. So thank you, each and every one of you. So once again, I am the Big Nerd Gamer, alongside with me,
Curator of Horror, Chance Forshi.
I was waiting for that. And alongside with him,
I'm Papa Gnome.
and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Until then, Excelsior.
Fucking nerd.